bunch of time and a whole bunch of tinkering with a mechanic much more qualified than myself. We're ready to give this a second try here, see if it'll run properly this time. I don't know what all work these guys did. I believe a valve job, assuming maybe the head was resurfaced. Couldn't say for sure, but just turning the crank, you can feel it's got a lot better compression now. At this point, they discovered the float in the carburetor or vaporizer was not, in fact, floating. Therefore, it was kept flooding itself out. So, fixed one problem, discovered another. Time to get some more parts on order, and we'll try it again. For this lower hose, after I got done excavating, you can see the outlet there. I guess that's the inlet, wouldn't it be? That comes out to the left and then has to turn 90 degrees and go upwards into the radiator. And I could not find a hose specially, I could not find the correct hose for this application. So I'm having to get a little bit creative, and with a lot of measuring and trip to the hardware store, I have made this little guy. So it'll have one hose here, another one there to connect to the radiator. There we go. We now have a temperature gauge that should work. So there's the old one, which I'm quite confident did not work. And if it did, you wouldn't be able to read it anyway. Looks like I got it upside down. I didn't really film it, but the new water pump showed up this week. And I had this upper neck removed, thinking there might be a thermostat behind there. There was not. So I put those both back on with new gaskets and RTV, and wanted to get them a chance to get set up before this weekend when maybe I'd have a chance to test her out. So still might. Well, hi Edith. Are you gonna help? There's really nothing here for you to knock over right now. Yeah. You're a good helper though. Mr. Radiator, go to your home. That actually worked about as well as a guy could hope for. I don't know how much you can see down there, but trust me, I was able to get my hands in there to make that work. So we're off to a pretty decent start. There's our pal Cola hanging out in the background. I should fire her up and just let her run for a while. There's been enough calamity for one day. I could use a little peace and quiet. So for the upper hose, I'm doing an experiment, and that is thanks to a comment from Jethro's Garage on the last video on this. I've never tried this before, but I could not find a thermostat for this tractor. Like, I don't know if it ever had one, and I don't think they're making them anymore for this. If they are, I haven't seen them. So I had pulled this water neck off, assuming maybe there was a thermostat back there, and there was not. Jethro's Garage says, hey, you can take a small block Chevy thermostat and you can shave it down to the right diameter and drill a little 1/8" hole there and put her in line there. The diameter is too large, it won't go in here. So we're gonna try it. I don't see why it wouldn't work. So if it works, big thanks to Jethro's Garage. If it doesn't, well, we won't talk about that. But in all seriousness, I do like having thermostats in my tractors. I like to know that they are getting up to the proper temperatures that they need to be at. And it just helps keep your condensation in your crankcase at a minimum, because it actually gets warm enough to boil some of that off. And it's better for the machine if it reaches and maintains operating temperature. I'm going to leave that loose until we get the bolts started that hold this into place. I'm gonna mix up another gallon. Hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to fire it up and let it run for a while. And I know it'll purge a little air out of the system, and we'll have to add a little bit more. But right now it is full up above. It's probably full up to about where my finger is. So we're well above that water jacket, and we don't have any leaks. Hood and the grill until we prove that our cooling system is completely operational. Right. As long as we got enough daylight here, you can kind of see what I'm doing. I'm going to bolt in that top bracket. Get this the right size. Looks like I did. I think that's all we're going to do tonight. Tomorrow, as long as we don't have any leaks, we'll get our alternator back in. And say, Take a look at that carburetor. We'll get to fire this up and let her run.